Hey everybody, this is Grandma Bev from Life with Grandma Bev. And those of you who are my regular subscribers, welcome back. And to those of you who are new, welcome. Anyway, to you newer subscribers, all my regulars have had to put up with all my videos for my cruise that I just did. I'm one of those people that loves cruising. And I had like, 5 or 6 cruises canceled since the virus started. So we finally got to go on one. We took a chance because, you know, with the latest variant out, it was questionable, should we really go or not? And I'm at the stubborn part where I'm going. I don't care, I am going. Just be extra special careful. So what I want to share with you guys, though, is where did I feel the safest from the virus? By flying or by cruising? You might be surprised, but then maybe you won't. But let's start from the beginning. The beginning, of course, was flying. Okay, get ready here. Now, we ended up going, we had to go 3 different airports. We were going from Phoenix to Fort Lauderdale, and then in between we had to stop in Charlotte. And so we had the 3 different airports that I could compare twice, because on the way back, on the way there, on the way back, okay? Now, we flew, I guess I can say American, because I'm not saying anything bad about them. The plane itself was it was clean. Now, I never used the restroom. I never got up out of my seat, but it looked pretty clean. You know, I still kind of was real careful. I had a Ziploc bag in the little, you know, pocket in the seat in front of me. So I put my stuff in, and I was real careful to have something down, you know, when I had to eat anything, and I tried not to touch anything I didn't have to. So the plane part, the airplane part, was okay. The airports, though. Oh, my God. I think they were worse than before the virus. I didn't really see much cleaning going on. I mean, yes, the restrooms, you always see, there's always somebody hanging around, and you wonder, are they going to come in now when I'm in there, or, you know, but... So the restrooms were okay, but the rest of the airport, anytime we'd go to sit down, you could just see the, you know, the little armrests and things. You could see that people had had drinks on them. There was garbage laying around on the floors. Now, part of that should be, you know, the passengers should be cleaning up after themselves if they're dropping garbage and rubbish on the floor. But every time we'd sit down, I felt like I got out my little bacteria wipes I brought with me, and I wiped down, you know, the things to put our drinks and stuff on, because they were filthy, you know, and you'd think they'd be really on top of it. Now, okay, we're going to hear, yeah, but, you know, they're low on employees. But I've got something to compare it to, so, you know. The lines for TSA both times in both airports were so mismanaged. I mean, I don't know if they're mismanaged. They're just, you know, I don't know. I just don't know how to explain it. Everything was just kind of, you know, you threw all your stuff up, and then in the one airport, we were in waited a long time. The line never moved. Then they decided, well, let's move all these people over to another one. So then us, all this mishmash of people running over. Well, they're moving the people's, you know, bins with their stuff in. You know, it's just a mishmash. And then we moved one more time before we actually got through it, you know, so... And everybody seems, the passengers seem like they're all trying to follow all the rules, but gosh, what a mess. I mean, a mess. I'm sorry, but it was just dirty. The floors, things were just, gave you a dirty feeling, you know? So now let me move to the cruise ship. Okay. All we've been hearing about since the virus started with, oh, don't go on a cruise ship, it's a petri dish, blah, 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 blah. It's all these people getting sick. Well, do they keep track of how many people come down with the virus after they've flown? No. We're on the ship, of course they know, so I don't know. Okay, the ship was so careful. We had to be fully vaccinated. I went on Princess. We had to be fully vaccinated. We had to take a COVID test, and we did the one online, where the box was sent to us through Princess. We did it online with a person watching us do everything, and then they came back with whether you were negative or positive. And you had to print out that because you couldn't get on the ship unless you had a letter from this medical place stating that you tested negative at least 2 days before getting on the ship. It had to be 2 days because people had to fly, airlines weren't checking it. So, you had to also have your vaccination record with you. Airlines didn't, the airports, I shouldn't say airlines, the airports didn't care. All you did was showed your regular stuff. So, we went through that. Now, it took a little long to embark, which we weren't real thrilled about because we've sailed on Princess. That was our 11th one on Princess. And so we belonged to what they called their Platinum group. They got three levels. And one of the perks of Platinum is that you have priority boarding, which means you can get on right away. Well, they took that away, apparently. And we had to sit in a big room, shoulder to shoulder with people, until they called us. It was over a half hour or more we were sitting there. So then we got on the ship, and everything changed. Everywhere you went and looked, people were cleaning things. I mean, cleaning them, They had us go up to eat lunch first. So that was in the buffet. The minute someone gets up off a table, they are there with their buckets, with their stuff in it, this pure bacterial purifying stuff, and they wash the tables, they wash the chairs you sit in, and they put a little disc on it. And until they remove that disc, nobody can sit at that table. And they make sure that table is dry, because they say if you just dry it off, like with a rag or a napkin or something, it's removing the bacterial, cleansing stuff. And boy, they stayed on top of it, let me tell you. Everywhere you go, they're wiping stuff off. In the buffet, they had the big plexiglass stuff up, so you could not touch that food or spoon or anything. You pointed what you wanted, hand them your plate, they put it on, you took your plate back. Everything was that. Even a banana. The guy put it in a bowl for me and handed it to me after using tongs. When you walked in the room to begin with, you had to wash your hands. Plus, they had the little antiseptic, little automated things all around that you could use. The process was the same out in the pool area, where you could go outside there and eat and drink or whatever you wanted to do. The minute somebody got up, they're washing those tables, and just constant cleaning. Obsessive, more obsessive than I am. And it was that way in all the common rooms. Very clean, very, I tell you. We still, though, were very careful. Our cabin, very clean. Our steward, we met him when we first came up to our cabin, and they asked, do you want your cabin, how many times a day would you like us to come into your cabin to clean it? And we said, just once a day is fine for us, Well, he did come in twice, because he'd come in at the end of the day and just pick up maybe any towels we'd use, and he'd leave us the itinerary for the next day on what was happening, or take maybe any dirty glasses or things. Now, you're not supposed to put your used glassware or anything out in the hallway. They don't want you doing that. You just leave it on a little table in your cabin. And I tell you, it was spotless. Everything's clean, clean, clean. When we were going through the Panama Canal, I don't know if you watched that video of mine, but I'm up on a top thing looking down, and here was this little guy cleaning all these rails as he's walking around, rails that nobody touched. A little while later, he's still walking around cleaning those same things, you know. It was so clean. So, when we got off the ship, it was the same way. We got off very quickly, very organized. I mean, they didn't have you touching anything that you didn't have to touch. The whole time you're out of your cabin, you wear your mask. You know, I even saw our steward washing the walls down in the hallway, and I said, "You even have to wash the walls?" He said, "Well, yeah, we want to keep everything clean." I mean, they're washing the walls. There was nobody down our hall, and our cabin was the very last one on the one side. And then there was a back one that faced to the back. So those people, and then somebody right next to us. The whole rest of our section of the hallway, nobody was in a cabin. Why'd they put those people right next to us? I don't understand, though, for as obsessed as they were. But yeah, they could have put one in between. But anyway. So there was nobody down there walking around going like this on the walls. They cleaned the carpet, I think, twice in the hallways. Do I need to tell you which one I feel safer on as far as the virus? You guessed it. I'll take the cruise any day. It's the part of going through the airport that I feel like I need to be in a hazmat suit. So, of course, you know, these are my opinions. Somebody else may have different opinions. Scientists may have different opinions. But, you know, half the population doesn't believe in science anyway. It doesn't listen to what the scientists say. So listen to an ordinary person, you know, who's normally a germaphobe. And now everybody does everything that I used to do, except mask wearing, because I would have looked too silly. So, I gotta say, kudos to the cruise industry, well, at least Princess Cruise Lines. I don't know about the other cruise lines, but Princess, thumbs up. Airports, American Airlines. So, you know, comments below, like, share, subscribe, and I got another cruise coming up at the end of July. We'll see if there's any differences by then. And it's on a totally different cruise line, so we'll see how different it is. So I hope I've enlightened some of you. And I hope you're having a great day. I love you all. Bye.